Welcome to Celebrate and Chill, the podcast where the hustle meets the heart behind the scenes of the event world. I'm your host, Kanisha, and here we keep it real about what it takes to create unforgettable experiences, one celebration at a time. Whether you're an event pro, a creative entrepreneur, or just curious about the magic and the mayhem that happens behind the curtains, you're in the right place. So grab a drink, take a breath, and let's celebrate and chill. Welcome to Celebrate and Chill. Jazmene, it is so good to have you here with us today. Why don't you introduce yourself to our audience?
Thank you, Kanisha. Thank you for having me today. I am Jazmene Thomas, better known as Jazz. I am CEO and lead planner of Moton Event Elements. We're a Los Angeles-based wedding and event planning company in servicing all types of events from weddings to corporate, destination. So I'm happy to be here today.
I love it. Thank you so much for joining us again. And just to start us off, I would love to hear your story. I'd love to hear, how did you wind up getting into the events industry? What was your start?
So I established Moton Event Elements about 5 years ago, 6 years ago. And I had informally planned parties and special events for family and friends. Naturally, I've always been the planner, like in my family. I remember planning family trips when I was a child and, taking care of all the travel arrangements and hotel accommodations and activities.
Wow.
Right. That was a lot of responsibility. But my parents are like, she got it. She got it. And professionally, I am a licensed funeral director, and I was for 16 years with the city of Santa Monica. And I absolutely loved the connection that I had with families. I love the importance that I had in the very serious time in their life. You know, losing someone, you have a one-time shot to plan a funeral. Same thing like a wedding, right? So I was there during COVID, during, having to get FEMA trailers and having nonstop calls 24/7. And it became a lot. Establishing my business gave me an outlet to bring people together on a more joyous occasion because we all know funerals became like reunions, right? And to tap into my skill of planning and putting all the logistics and all the details together, I tapped into that to be able to make it easier for people to gather, not shy away from planning a party or a wedding because it's too overwhelming. So I established business 6 years ago. And in all honesty, probably like the last year and a half, I really took it seriously because I was always, oh, I'll go work here and I'll go, like I managed a venue. I freelanced and I did other things for other people and was a distraction from what I really needed to do. And that was to focus on my business. So that brings
I
us
love that.
here. Yeah. 6 years ago.
Yeah, excellent. 6 years. I know. Doesn't time just fly by? It really does. Oh
Time
my
flies
goodness.
when you're having fun. Yes.
Exactly, exactly. I never really put that together, but what you said is very profound to me. And so I just want to repeat it. And then if you want to expand on that a little bit, you said funerals are like reunions.
Hmm.
And and really, you know what? That is such a life event in my head. I always say this: funerals or passing is really about the living. It's
Absolutely.
not necessarily
Yeah.
about those who have left us as much as it is about the living, and reminding us of how to, like, live. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Like,
Hmm.
reminding
Hmm.
us, like, oh yeah, this isn't a lot of time here. So
Right.
that's a very interesting step into this industry.
Right.
I've been known to think of this industry as like very small, but also very big. Right? It's almost
Hmm.
like, it's like, oh, I have 20 people, 20 siblings or what have you, but then you start to look at all of the different people that are in the family. It's big, but it's also very small. So
Right.
that's my experience in events. I'd love
Hmm.
to know, since you've started taking your business seriously, and
Hmm.
congratulations to you, because I know that's a leap of faith, right? What was it
Absolutely.
in your head, or did someone say something to you that made you, like, like, say, you know what? No,
Right.
I got to focus. Or what was
Mhm.
there anything in particular that you could recall?
Um, so many things, right? So Depending on whatever your belief is or your religious background, you'll get these messages along your journey, right? And like I said, growing up, that was just my personality to be the planner, to bring people together, to like take care of it all. But as I got older and I was in my profession as a funeral director, there was in going through COVID, I had two really close people to me pass away. And I always said when that became no longer fun, I needed to do something else. And I kept trying to stay there, kept trying to stay there and force myself. And I just had to like come to the realization, like I have to step away from the 9 to 5 and focus on the business. But focusing on the business, I soon got an opportunity to manage a venue and met these amazing owners that trusted me with, your business is your baby. And for them to trust me with their baby was huge, and they had so many years of business experience, and being like mentored by them and working so closely with them opened my eyes to what the possibility of my business could be, right? And so along the way I'm getting those confirmations like, Jazmene, you got this. Like you have the skills, you have when I get with clients, we become like family. And I learned that in my experience in the funeral industry. Like we connect on a different level because the event, the wedding, is not just that. It has emotional tie, right? There's an emotion that you want to portray or convey to your guests. And in order for us to be able to understand that, me, myself, the planner, and the client, we have to connect on an emotional level. And so that has been sort of my strength, is leading with the emotion, with the connection, and trusting my instinct, managing the venue. And that was a great experience. And then branching out of weddings. Like, I love weddings, that's where my heart is. But I also know that there's a larger world. So earlier this year, we became an official supplier of LASCC. So with all these events coming in, thank you, coming into the city, FIFA and Super Bowl and All Star Weekend and all those things, it puts us in position to be in rooms with corporate partners that will need our services, and that I can learn from and grow with. So I'm just constantly, embracing my role as an entrepreneur, as a creative, as a woman. I think a lot of times we kind of like, oh, let me just like play it cool, let me just be, shy, and no, I am coming through. Like I think
That's right.
when we had met at that Fed event back in February, that was I was so scared. I was like, I hate networking, but my mentor said get out there, so I'm here. And I was sitting on the couch, and you were there with one of your associates, and we were just chatting, and it was so many people. And after I left that event, I was like, I am never again going to say I don't like networking, because nobody wants to hear that. No, it's all out of our comfort zone to go out and be around a bunch of, you know,
That's
new
right.
people, right?
Absolutely.
So I was like, after that moment, I stopped saying that. And I actually love networking. I get new outfits and getting my hair done. And it's a wonderful
An
thing because
event.
yes, no, and it's a way to connect with other entrepreneurs and creatives that are, experiencing the same ebbs and flows of the business and client experience and all of those things. And it's a great community of event professionals that I've surrounded myself with, and I embrace it. So it's a huge change from last year.
I love
Absolutely,
that.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so I'm going to switch a little bit because I would love to know, in because you have a lot of experience, right? You like with all of your background experience and then now leading up into corporate and government type of events, you bring a wealth of experience. So, can you tell us like what do you want from a client, and maybe what do you not want in a client when you're going through your event production like process. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah,
Like, what is it that you're looking for? Because I think that also feeds you. You know what I mean? Like, it's just more
absolutely.
than just money at the end of the day.
Oh
So,
yeah.
what is it that you're looking for from a client?
The main thing is the ability to build a relationship, right? Because building the relationship will build the trust. And building the trust is what's needed for the client to know Jazz has it covered. She can manage all of this. She knows what she's doing. And we can only get there if we're able to build that relationship and build a trust. and transparency, because one of the things that I found more recently is, this internet has everyone thinking that they can do everything.
Right.
And right. And so I've had situations where I've had to tell clients to slow it down, scale it back, because they're just so anxious to book and to do and to do. And they don't realize, like, if you secure a vendor, and there's a lot of other details that you need to know, like, are they insured? What do they need for setup? How much staff are they providing for the setup? Is it going to fit
Yeah.
within our timeline? Like, all of those things. And you can't just jump the gun because you see a pretty picture on Instagram and, like, that's my vendor. A lot of the working against the social media presence and bringing them down to reality is a lot of what we do. But at the same time, it goes back to us building that relationship, building that trust, and them knowing that I am their resource, right? So instead of running to Instagram for the answer, it's like, call Jazz, shoot her a text, and I'm here for you, right? And we're able to build that, because on the day of your event, you're going to look to me for the answers, for the support, and we can't just, like, show up on that day and, like, okay, we're here to make the event happen. No, no. So
Right.
I need
Right.
I need the transparency, the openness, and some of the things that just don't mesh with us is just like the personality. For myself, like, I am more on the calmer side. I'm not like like, I am intense when it comes to, like, the excitement of the event and, putting the pieces together and all the logistics. Like, I love that. Like, it gets me. You can see I'm fiery now. But when it
Yes.
comes to, like, personalities and dealing with conflict, like, I'm not going to get nasty with you. I don't curse. I don't operate that way with my clients or with the vendors. So when it comes to client communication with me and other vendors, they have to mirror that. We can't be hell on wheels and be the bridezilla. People always ask, have you had a bridezilla? No, because that's not the energy that I'm giving.
That's
So
right.
we have to, it's reciprocal. This is a people business, and it's not just about the money.
I love that. I love that. You are so spot on. Coming from the world of event cleanup, right?
Mm-hmm.
I always say for us, I was like, look, our event producers are under a lot of stress. So how whatever they come, whatever they bring with them, however they come at you, please, 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 just don't take it personally.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have my workers like take a beat and then ask them, is there anything that you would like me to help you with? So that, we could even the playing field again. Like, is there anything that you would like me to help you with right now? Because I get your job is truly a stressful job, right?
No,
Everyone's
that I'm
expectations are
not
out there.
stressed. Yeah, that's one thing that
Yeah, and
people always
it
say.
probably doesn't feel stressful. I mean, because you've
Yeah,
been doing it for so long,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
I mean,
Because my
and you tell
my
me.
idea, yeah, my idea is, or my thought is, that there's a solution to everything. So while I may
Yes,
feel like there's, like, a roadblock or a potential issue, we can figure this out. And you have to do it with a certain type of class and composure to get through it without it affecting the client and the vendors and the attendees, and to do it seamlessly.
I love that. So, is there anyone in the events world that you would love to work with?
Oh
Like,
my
as
gosh.
a oh, okay, good. I'm glad
No,
I
I
asked
was
this
thinking
question.
about this. Yeah, no, I'm sorry to cut you off. I'm so excited because I was thinking about my Mount Rushmore of event planners, and
That's what
oh,
I'm
this
talking
gets me
about.
so excited. So I have on there Mindy Wise, of course. She is extraordinary. She does amazing, beautifully put together events, and she doesn't shy away from the maximalist. Like, I love how she puts together different textures and patterns and just creates a whole nother world. So her, of course, Preston Bailey, he does amazing things with florals, and these are all old school. Like, I
That's
love
true.
newer
Yeah,
people, but the old school, I love it. Diane Valentine, she's a local lady. I've seen her a few times in passing, and she just is just everything from the fashions to everything that she does with events and beyond. Now getting into the hair care industry and all of that. So she's on there for sure. And then who else? Do I have? Oh, Martha Stewart. She is. She, started in the catering world, and
she sure
just
did.
her level of class and just precision. I always want to get to that point of, like, just the perfectionism and just the precise, just everything. So those would be my go-to or my Mount Rushmore. But as far as collaboration, like, I'm always open to working with new planners, event professionals. But those are my, like.
I love it. I
Yeah,
love it. You know what? Honestly, I've asked this question so many times, and you're like very clear. So I'm of the belief that when you're very clear, it's the person who
yeah,
has the clarity that's actually going to get the thing. You know what I mean?
yeah.
When you have the
Hmm.
clarity, that's when
Hmm.
you start to get the thing. So
Yeah.
I'm going to work that for you for
Oh,
all of
okay.
them that it comes true. So awesome. And so 2025 just ended. We're at the beginning of 2026. Is there
Mhm.
any event from last year that really stands out for you that you're like, yes, you really
Mhm.
like you did this. Your team just did it to death. What event was that for you, and what made it that for you?
Wow. So to touch on earlier what I spoke about trusting my instinct and trusting my ability and moving forward in that, it would have to be a style shoot that I planned. So it wasn't a paid job. It was a style shoot that I was the planner for. So I've been published as an event planner in two other magazines, Amuna Lucci and Black Brides. And that was someone
Nice.
else's vision, someone else's design. It was amazing and beautiful. But that was one of my goals for 2025 on my marketing plan to head my own style shoot, and it was a
Nice.
huge accomplishment for me. There are a lot of things that I would have changed, but I accomplished one of my goals, and it was huge because I worked with a group of event professionals that weren't in the LA area. Like we drove all the way out to Joshua Tree, and it was a venue that wasn't established as a wedding venue. They were Airbnb with about 10 guest rooms on the property. They had space to do weddings, and I think they've done a handful before, but they wanted to get some content out there, and they trusted me and my ability, and we did the style shoot, and the photos should be released if they weren't already in the next couple of weeks or so. So that in itself was a huge for me because I wasn't looking to someone else for the approval or for the green light, because I think a lot of times people do that and just for that reassurance. But I trusted my instinct and we accomplished one of our goals, and that was huge. So yeah, the style shoot for 2025.
Well, congratulations to you on that. And we are looking forward to seeing that. So please send us some links or where we could find the finished product so that we can promote and tout you in your
For sure.
accomplishment. Congratulations again.
Thank
That's
you. Thank you.
amazing. And so that was 2025. Do you have anything on your 2026 list that you can share with us that
Mhm.
is one, a highlight for right now? Or like something that you haven't quite accomplished, but you're like, okay, this is on my goal list for this year.
Absolutely. So I am looking to, of course, like a lot of entrepreneurs, expand and grow the team and bring on full-time crew, right? To bring more support so we can better serve more clients, because that's kind of the path that we're going on. At the end of this month, I'm doing my first award show. So, from connections, you know how you meet different people, and I had a referral
Absolutely.
from another venue coordinator that said, Jazz is amazing. She's your girl. She can help you out. And this organization already had their vision. This is the third year they're doing the award show. So it wasn't like they're starting from scratch. But my role has really been keeping them on track, keeping them organized. Of course, on that day of, making sure that everything is running smoothly, handling all the hiccups and putting out all the potential fires. But that has been really huge because to go from just when I did my first event ever, it was a baby shower 13
Okay.
years ago. My sister's baby shower, actually. And then now moving forward to an award show for this huge organization. It's I'm loving the path that I'm on, and we're just looking for more opportunities. We have, like I said, we're part of Los Angeles Sports and Entertainment Commission as one of their suppliers. So continued exposure and opportunities come up. We did an event last year for one of the Karen Bass events,
Yeah.
one of her summits at the LA Convention Center. So that was really great. We were a sub on one of those events, and it was a great opportunity for us. It was huge. And I'm like, I've never done a 2,000 person event, but I'm getting more into the event industry, understanding how contracts work and how maybe a large organization would get the contract, but we can support them. And getting that exposure and experience. And that's kind of where we are, just not shying away from new experiences.
Excellent. So I often attend Karen Bass events. I think that they're great informational context for people who are
Absolutely.
looking to get out there and get more business or find out
Mhm.
how to get, into different spaces. So were you at the LA Convention Center
In October?
October? Yes.
Mhm.
It was
Yes,
October. Okay, great.
we did the registration. So we
Oh,
had,
wonderful. So I
was the
saw you.
registration easy? Yes.
It was
Registration,
easy.
everyone was like, this was so seamless. It was so easy. It was so quick.
Yes.
And we had a lot of people that we were prepared for about 4,000. About half of those attendees attended, and they were well taken care of. We had a great experience with the event producer, the contractor for the event, and then we have a relationship with the company Sync VIP that provided all the technology for registration. So it was just great all around, and me and my team were there. We had so many volunteers from the mayor's office. And so we met so many more people, and it was a great opportunity. Again, that was something that came from Los Angeles Sports and Entertainment Commission. Just being connected and affiliated with them has opened a lot of doors. So
I
very
love
blessed.
that.
Yes.
I love it. Thank you so much for sharing. And I want to go back to kind of your beginnings, only because I know a lot of people who listen to us and see us are just starting their careers
Hmm.
into this space. And if there was one piece of advice that you have received from your from someone, right? Well, it doesn't have to
Hmm.
be in the industry or not, but someone that a piece of advice that you still hold with you that like still rings true for someone who is just starting out, what would that piece of advice be?
The piece of advice is, this is an old saying. My grandfather used to always say it: stay ready so you don't have to get ready. So,
I love
being in
it.
the event industry, and a lot of other industries, like I said, with social media, a lot of people feel like they can just watch a video and know how to do it, and that's that, right? You really have to invest in yourself, invest in your education, invest in your credentials. So when you're meeting with these clients, it's not just like, oh, yeah, I know how to make parties look pretty. Like,
Right.
no, I have certifications. I'm a part of reputable organizations. I have a network of event professionals and entrepreneurs that I can tap into at any moment. Like, it's really about the preparation. What do they say? When preparation and opportunity meet, that's success, right? So that's really my focus. Like, just always just do those little. What is that book? I read it. It's amazing. Atomic Habits. And
Oh
you just
yeah.
do the little things, because those little things will get you to that, right? Get you to that goal. Because it's not about the goal, it's about the process. And
Yes,
so it's always being ready, because you never know. You never know
that's
what
right.
opportunity is there. So
That's
that's
right.
what I
And
would
that's
say.
why showing up to all these networking events is so
Absolutely.
important because you just never know when you're going to meet your next client, or you might be able to refer somebody to their next client. It's always that synergy of people in
Yeah.
that one area at that one time that brings about so many different things. Okay, so are there any organizations or associations that you would recommend for someone starting out as a wedding planner or an event planner that they look to join?
Absolutely. So my go-to, my where I can say my family, like I just feel so welcomed and a part of, is WIPA SoCal.
Say it one more time for me so I could.
WIPA,
Nippa.
WIPA,
Okay.
WIPA SoCal. They have events almost, if not every month, every other month or so. They have educational events, networking events. They have so many resources and connections. So WIPA for sure is a great one. If you're not in the wedding specific event industry, you're just event professional. FET is always great.
I
Um,
do love that.
that is great. It's just for myself. It's a lot of people, and I like my group's a little smaller, but they have amazing events, great resources and networking. And then I also would suggest like getting some sort of certification. If you don't already have a degree, I wasn't a 4-year college girl, so I don't have that, but I have certifications and trainings to support what I'm doing. And I always do that. Like, I make sure that, on our calendar, I have networking events scheduled, I have educational events scheduled. So I'm constantly keeping up to date and not relying on social. So step away from social, get into the real world, network with the
Yes.
people, and
Yeah.
expand your knowledge of the event industry and sort of the standard way of doing things. Because I think on social it's like a free for all. Anyone with a camera can become an expert, but that's what I would suggest.
I love it. This has been great. Thank you so much for all of your insight. I am going to hit you with some rapid fire
Let's do
questions.
it.
And they're just like the first thing that hits your mind. Don't think long about it.
Okay,
This is all just fun. Okay.
let's do
So,
it.
what is your favorite event food?
Cake.
Yum. Chocolate or vanilla? No, or strawberry. What is your favorite?
I'll go for all of them.
Okay.
It could go at the end of the night because I don't eat during events. So if I get a slice of cake, I am inhaling it. Like, yes, I don't care what it
I
is.
love it. Okay, great. What's your most bizarre event experience?
Oh my gosh. So, when we get after the ceremony, after cocktail hour, we go to the reception and we're eating, and then it's time to do speeches. And this particular couple had assigned who was going to speak. And one of them was the bride's father. And the bride's father, he also walked her down the aisle and he had these tennis shoes on. And I'm like, what's with these tennis shoes? Why isn't he, he looked nice, but he had this, like, I'm gonna let him go. But, it's his thing, but he had a little bit of an infomercial commercial during his speech. So he spoke maybe like two or three lines about the bride and groom, but then he went on to talk about his shoes. He displayed a pair of shoes on the table and started to auction them off through Bible Jeopardy or trivia. And it was a lot. And it was a lot. And everybody was like, what is going on? The bride left probably like 10 minutes into it. She had to go to the bathroom.
It
And
lasted 10 minutes.
yeah, like it was like, at first I'm like, that's the bride's. And I was looking to someone, his wife, his brother, someone to pull him off. And he had a whole commercial with his
Wow.
shoes. Yeah, during speech. So we got
Okay.
him off and we got right into, we opened the dance floor after that. Yeah,
I love
really
it. I love
interesting.
it. Okay. All right. Great. So that is very bizarre. Thank you for sharing. That is most interesting. What do you least like about working on events?
The thing I least like about working on events is people have, clients, vendors, and guests, they have this preconceived notion that it's supposed to be stressful, that it's supposed to be chaotic, that it's supposed to be like, no, like
Right.
that's one of the things that on the day of, like, I have to be very mindful to maintain my calm because that energy is transferred. When they see that I'm not going off the rails and going nuts, then they kind of scale back a little bit and they kind of ease into to the fact that everything is going smoothly. We have done all the planning, we have figured out all the logistics. What we're doing now is coasting. We are going to handle whatever issues come up. If they come up, they probably will, like the dad doing the commercial. But you know what I mean? Like, there's no way, because I did talk to him. I said, you have your speech written, you have 2 minutes, you're good. He's like, I'm good, Jazz, I got it. All of those things. So the preconceived notion that events are supposed to be chaotic, it's supposed to be stressful, that it's okay to treat people, be nasty to them or bite their heads off because you're stressed out. No, it's not. It doesn't give you a pass to be nasty. If anything, this is not the time to do that because we're here to celebrate. We're here to have a good time, make memories, enjoy this beautiful space that we're in, and connect. Ain't nobody got time for that. No.
Ain't nobody got time for that. That is so wonderful. Okay, great. So honestly, you are so very grounded, Jazz. And
Thank
I
you.
just have to ask, and this isn't even a part of my rapid questions, but I have to ask, is there anything that you do personally that
Mhm,
has you ground yourself
mhm,
and make you stay level-headed during
mhm,
times of maybe not stress, but like, people are people doing the people thing. What do
mhm.
you do on a personal level, maybe even daily or we like what grounds you? What keeps you grounded and staying so level?
So I am a Taurus, and a lot of people are like, ooh,
Grounded.
she's very
Yeah.
stubborn, very bullheaded. And there's times in my life where I was like hell on wheels, right? But the thing that grounds me is my connection that I have with my grandmothers, my ancestors, knowing that the path that they had to navigate was very difficult. My grandmother was 14 years old when she had her first child. I had another grandmother who lost her baby when he was 6 years old. They had real difficulties. And for me to step away from my 9 to 5 and establish a business and to have clients that appreciate and value what I bring to the table, that I don't take lightly. It's extremely important for me to keep myself centered and grounded. I don't drink alcohol. I don't cuss. I may cuss if I'm saying a joke or something like that, but it's really important for me to be mindful of how, like, what I put in is what I give out, and always knowing that I'm not just presenting myself as Jazmene or Jazz. Like, I'm presenting myself as all my ancestors, all my women in my family. Like, I'm a representation of Black women. Like, a lot of my clients are not Black. A lot of my
Right.
clients have different backgrounds, and so when I'm showing up, I'm being authentically myself, but also being mindful to always carry myself with grace and class and love. At the end of the day, like, we're in the love business, so I always want to, give that. It's extremely important.
Love it. All right. We're about to wrap up. I just have two very simple questions. The first one is, this is Celebrate and Chill. So when you do accomplish something that is near and dear to you, how does Jazz celebrate? How
Yeah.
does she celebrate her wins?
My wins. So my husband is my number one supporter. He was the first person I told that I wanted to leave my 9 to 5, and he was like, "Do it. If it's not making you happy, leave." He's like my mentor in a sense. He's always giving me guidance. So whenever there's something new with the business or even challenges, I always go to my husband, and he has great insight. And we just, like, he gets so he sometimes I doubt myself, and he's like, "You're the best. You got this thing," So celebrating those wins with my husband is most important. And then also too, every so often, probably biannually, we go out with the girls, with the assistants, and we have some sort of luncheon or dinner to celebrate, their participation in the events to make it what it is. So it's always about that, reflecting, because it could go fast and you'd be like, oh, on to the next one, on to the next, and not being able
Right.
to be still and just reflect, like, I did that.
That's right. You did that. You did it. We need a button, right? The one that's like the easy button, but it's like a
Right,
I did that button.
right,
uh,
absolutely. It must be out
Because
there
it
somewhere.
happens so often. It does happen so often, and I don't know how much we give ourselves credit for all the things that we do
Yeah,
as women, as Black women, as
yeah,
entrepreneurs, as wives, or it's endless the number of things that we tend to do
right.
that we kind of just we bypass, and it's like, oh yeah, like that's just what we do,
It's
as
just
opposed
expected.
to
That's just
like
supposed to multitask all day long and make amazing accomplishments and just do it like nothing and on to the next. But
next.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I just did that shoot, that photo shoot. Oh yeah, no, I just did that, it could
The
go on
funny
and on
thing,
and on.
the
Yeah.
funny thing about that shoot is that I had a U-Haul truck that was stolen the morning of the event, and it was empty, and I have insurance. But it not only was it stolen, it was on a high-speed chase on the news. The
What?
crazy person ran into two parked cars, hopped out, and ran on foot. And I'm driving while this is happening. I'm driving to Joshua Tree because my assistant had to be. So I'm calm. I'm all
I
this
was
craziness is
like,
happening.
what? Okay,
All
so
this
first of
craziness.
all, I just have to say, because people that are outside of California really don't get this concept of like car chases. And it really does happen here in LA. I am from Chicago originally, and never in my, I've been here like umpteen decades, but it, before I moved here and I lived in Chicago, I had never seen a car chase ever. I didn't even
Crazy.
know I was just like, that's something they do in the movies. That
Right.
is something they do here in California, like for real.
Uh-huh.
I had an office off of Crenshaw, and I can't, so yes, car chases
You see
down
that a lot. Yes.
Crenshaw. But I
Yeah.
kid you not, I saw this guy running down the street, and this is not to like this isn't normal. Let's just say that this is not normal. But I saw this guy chasing this other guy with like a
Oh my.
artifact of an axe. I
Oh,
kid you not. Like on Crenshaw. It was an artifact of an and you like
like it's not
you
real. It's not real. Like, what are you running for? Oh,
thing. And so LA is lovely. I love it. But car
very
chases
colorful.
are unique. I think they're very unique to here in LA.
That's
I
crazy.
mean, and obviously I haven't lived in all 51 states, but I'm telling you, I've never heard of it until I got here. And then it
Yeah,
happens on
all
a
the time.
fairly regular,
Yeah,
So,
it's
okay.
crazy.
Yes, and thank you for reminding me of this. Okay, so
Hmm.
the last question. Um, how do you take time to chill out and relax?
Mm.
Just
I
relax.
I love music. So if I can be in the car with music, like even going to events, I have my playlist. It gets me hyped up. I have my music when I'm around the house cleaning or if I'm working here. Just the music, the energy, it just is, it's very transformative. So whatever I may be feeling before the music was playing, it just gets me in a mood and it gets me excited, gets the energy flowing. So the music, going out to the beach. I love, I used to do early morning meditations, so be there while the sun rose. And being at the beach is huge because we are one, like we are on this earth together, and to see how effortlessly the ocean moves, the waves are moving, and all the parts in nature are just doing its thing. It's a reminder, like I don't need to force anything. I don't need to be stressed about anything or to be anxious about anything because just as effortlessly that the ocean is moving and as beautifully as it's doing its thing, I can do the same thing. So that reminder, is there, especially when I'm going to the beach or just like walking in the neighborhood and listening to the leaves blow in the tree. And I just absolutely love that connection with my music and with nature for sure.
Wonderful. Okay, so we are coming to a close, but I want to give you an opportunity to let the audience know whether it's for clients or people in the events industry
Mhm.
or vendors or what have you. Is there anything that you have on your website or
Mhm.
that you offer
Mhm.
that you would like us to know about that we could then share with other people so that they can find out about it?
Absolutely. So on our website and on social, we have a
Please say your
planning
website
guide.
for us.
Oh, the website is J Moton Event Elements. That's JMOTON and on all the social, Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, it's Jazz underscore the THE underscore planner, PLANNER, Jazz the Planner on all social. And we have, constant updates on all of our events. In addition to that, just as a resource, like as I mentioned earlier, like this whole chaotic preconceived notion that events and weddings have to be, I just want that to be gone. So I've created a guide that helps people through the process of planning and being calm, embracing the calm during the planning process.
I love that. Thank you so much, Jazz. You are such a pleasure. And I am so honored to have had you on Celebrate and Chill. We'll have to do a recap of you coming up next year so we could say, okay, 2026 was behind us. And then let's say what is up for 2027. We appreciate you being here and we look forward to all of your success and for more to come from you and your team in a calm and demure way. I am looking forward myself to having more events be a calmer and with, like like zen, like right, like it's just zen. This is what we bring to the table. So much appreciated. Thank you for bringing it into the space, and hopefully we could roll that into 2026 and beyond.